Now we need to find the reference of the cameras and its properties. So first, let's take a look. The start assets using the player follow camera. So the follow is the player camera root, which is the game object under the player armature. It's around the upper chest, and it uses a third person follow. Okay, and the camera distance is 4 meters, so that's behind the character. And our script will work around with this camera distance. Basically, we'll change from 4 to 0, and so we'll move up to the eyes height, so you can have the first person view. Okay, now back to the coding. So first we find as a game object, we call it follow camera. And then we need to define the Cinemachine virtual camera. We call it camera underscore CV. And also we need to find the third person follow camera. So it's called a Cinemachine third person follow. So we call it cam third. Okay, back to Unity. Now you can see that we need to drag this player follow camera to the game object. Back to coding here. So first, we need to define the camera distance. So from the first person view to the, let's call it a distance underscore minimum. So by my experience, I think minus 0.2 is good value. And the distance maximum is for the third person view. So by default, it's 4 meter in the starter asset, and the distance underscore or step is for how many how many meters you want the camera to move every time, and the view of a field of view minimum it's 40. Okay, so back to the player follow camera, you can find from the lens. Okay, as you can see, yeah, it's using 40. Okay, but after I change to the first person view, I want to have a wider uh, angle of view, so I use 50. You can change, it's up to you. Okay, now we need to define the shoulder offset. Shoulder offset basically is that when you see the character, so in the camera, it's standing in the middle, right in the middle, or a little bit on the right, or a little bit on the left. So, but here, of course, in the first person view, I want it in the middle, and also on the height of the eyes, because it uses a root, so we need to lift it up about 0.32 meter to the height of eye. And on the shoulder offset, the third person view, um, I also want to like in the middle of the screen, in the middle of the camera. Okay, so it's all is 0. Another variable is the damping. Damping is the parameter to control how sensitive the camera will follow track the target. So in the first person view, I want it to be very sensitive. So in the X, Y, Z direction, I go by 0. And in the third person view, um, I'll leave it as it is. Use a value originally given. So X is 0.1, Y is 0.25, Z is 0.3. The same value used in the starter assets. Okay, I guess that's all the parameters